we want to connect with this Anansi vibes, you know, say Anansi have a sound splash, I go take place. Big things are going to have for dance here in Jamaica, though. They're going to have a festival, Anansi festival. And we want to talk to the lady who is responsible and in charge of it. Amina Mix Blackwood. So, meanwhile, we wait for her, we go so. Anansi have some fest, some splash. How that work? Mama, how you do?
Mota, Anansi, you and me, African people who move across time and across space and who don't admit have no barriers, who invent technology and know how to use it.
Yes,
so when it's time to sit down and talk, we sit down and talk. When it's time to ball out, we ball out. When it's time to have a sound splash, we just splash it.
So who come up with this? Who come up with it?
Who come up with what?
The sound splash.
Him Anansi sound splash.
Him come up with it?
Yeah, Anansi dream me one night and said that it's for him.
Okay.
Yes, Anansi say it is time that we have an understanding of who he is,
yes,
and what purpose he serve, and not just an enjoying story and think his only time we're passing, because we call it past time. But there is so much to learn about Anansi and how when them did grab us in our motor, everything we needed to take with us was already packed inside our head.
Mm-hmm.
And inside our heads was the Anansi stories and the symbolism,
yeah,
and all of the, like a soul case. It's in your soul case and you just come with it.
Yeah.
And over the years, because of how we have had to use Anansi to survive and use Anansi as a mechanism to declare who we are and say, me day, I'm now gone away.
Mm.
The people who they tell us say we can't wear the clothes that me and you wear.
Yes.
Or we can't wear we foot how we choose to wear it and not to wear it.
And we can't wear we ear or we choose to wear it.
See there? Had said that we should not be telling stories.
Yes.
Because they could not understand who Anansi was. And in the same way they tried to prevent us from speaking our own language, them tried to prevent us from honoring this aspect of ourselves and our culture. So over the years, Anansi has suffered from extremely bad public relations.
May I tell you, man, him need a publicist, Rasta.
See, they don't know we that.
So wait there. Want to Breda Tukuma. Tukuma can't be one of the publicists.
Tukuma, Tukuma and Anansi have children.
Yeah.
And Tukuma is Anansi's third child, but his firstborn son.
From the mother side or the father side?
No, man, Anansi did marry. They never have no outside children.
You serious?
But yes, Anansi had a wife. Her name was Aso.
A lie, them I tell, but it's so long. You're so long, them I tell a lie for Anansi.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
And when the Supreme God looked down and saw that human beings didn't have any wisdom, he said, Anansi, I want somebody I can trust to bring wisdom down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless we think that the Supreme God is a fool, would he choose somebody who was not capable of understanding what wisdom is about, yes, and capable of transmitting it whole and intact,
yes,
as was his mission, So it's plenty of things. There are Anansi stories in which Anansi goes to the altar of his ancestors,
yes,
and beg them for protection for the journey that he has to go on.
Yes.
There are stories about Anansi always looking for work, because him have to take care of his children.
Yes.
There are stories about Anansi looking after the interest of the village when famine take over, and Anansi decides to no, him can't sit down and watching people suffer. Anansi walked for miles and many villages to see what he could find to bring back for his people.
Yes.
But those stories are not popular in a culture in which every means have been used over the years to get us to try and forget ourselves and forget who we are.
So this festival now is the Anansi Sound Splash. It's a storytelling conference and festival.
Yeah.
That is going to happen when?
It opens next week, Tuesday, the 20th, for Universal Children's Day. And Anansi exists in the diaspora. And so Sister Andrea called this a United Nations of Anansi tellers. because we have a teller from China, from India. We have 2 from South Africa. We have 2 from the USA. We have 2 from the UK. We have our sister Aintu Pearl Springer from Trinidad, and we have 1 from Curacao.
And all of these people going to tell Breda, and all of these people going to tell Anansi stories.
Tell Anansi's story and present papers about Anansi.
Okay.
Our patron is Mrs. Barbara Gluden, and her paper will look at Anansi in Anansi's role in our cultural decolonization. And she will be joined by Numsa Happiness from South Africa, and they're both looking at the same thing.
Okay.
And then we also have our own other and friend and activist and psychiatrist and specialist, Professor Freddie Hicklin,
yes,
who will be looking at the importance of memory to reparation and how the storytelling and our stories form very important parts of that.
All right, so interesting. So it's November the 20th to the 23rd.
The 23rd. The 23rd, we are out there at Civil Heritage Park all day from 9 o'clock in the morning till the sun goes down in a variety of stories we are calling a storytelling extravaganza.
So what is happening at the Kingston waterfront?
The Kingston Waterfront is the opening ceremony and a Nancy parade. That day, only children will tell stories.
Okay.
So they're telling stories, and they're going to get a prize for the best storyteller, the longest story, and so on.
And the Ocho Rios Baptist Church, what happened there, sir?
Those 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, are the conference days.
Okay. And it's happening in Ocho Rios, right on in Ocho Rios, that's all.
Yes, so we want to big up IRFM and Chase and the U.S. Embassy paid for their 2 tellers, and the British Council pay for their 2 tellers, and there are in fact 2 tellers as we speak right now out there in the grill, Meg and Margaret, who have paid their way to come to the festival.
All right, so that's it next week, Tuesday, November the 20th to the 23rd. And it's going to be from Kingston to Ocho Rios.
That's right.
Is really where
I can give a number 3797938 for persons who want to register to take part in the conference session.
And I think we have our next number here, 547-7611.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 379-7938 or 547-7611. It's all about Anansi and Anansi and Anansi.
Students and teachers to come out.
All right.
Particularly those questions about how to use storytelling in the classroom.
Yeah, and the next time I talk to you, I want to talk to you about the Marcus Garvey curriculum. Believe you me.
All right then. Marcus Garvey was a wonderful storytelling aficionado, as you know.
Yes,
he loved the culture. Yes. He promoted the culture.
Definitely.
He had concerts with storytelling and so on down at Eloise.
In Bush Rani, William.
In Bush Rani, when Rani was 17. Yeah. And the rest is history. Yeah. And Marcus Garvey was the first Jamaican to enunciate a cultural policy. So there is one session that we call ancestral revelry, where we pay homage to those people who have led us along this road, and Marcus Garvey is definitely there.
All right, next time we talk to you, is him we want to talk about with you.
All right, give thanks, my brother.
Give thanks, Mama.
All right, take good care.
Stepping razor.